Alright, welcome back guys, and welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here with Binary Tent bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Walking Dead comic. Now if the Walking Dead is something you're interested in, or comics is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would have missed more comic news from me or Walking Dead news from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So like I said, we got some news regarding the Walking Dead comics that came out of, I think it was the Skybound 10-year anniversary expo that was held virtually this past weekend. Now I grabbed some information from an article that was put on Skybound's website. If you want to check it out, the full article, I have it linked in the comment section down below, but I'm going to go over some of the info that I pulled. So far we got the Walking Dead comics is returning for a full print in color starting this October. The new run of colored editions will be titled The Walking Dead Deluxe. The first issue will feature 5 different covers. We'll have feature variants throughout the series. Each issue will feature a cutting room floor installment with handwritten plots and inside info from Robert Kirkman. Issue 1 is set to release October 7th, and two issues coming per month starting in November, which means we'll be getting bi-weekly releases in November. Now this is very interesting and exciting news. I think this was something that was gonna come eventually. I'm actually just shocked that it came out this soon and we're hearing about it just a little bit more than a year after the original run ended. Moving on, some of the other news we got from the article states this deluxe revival of the series will also feature memorable array of variant covers by such as artists as David Finch, Tony Moore, Julian Tointo. I'm not even going to try to pronounce some of these other names because I'll probably just butcher them. These covers will be commemorating major character introductions and the series' most memorable twists and turns. Now, furthermore, the article states that the definitive presentation of the story will not be collected into trade paperback anytime soon, so fans and new readers should not trade wait to experience this the fully colored edition of the popular survival series. Now, I think this is somewhat of a bad idea, but I'm very interested to see what goes on moving forward with this. I think that it will eventually come out in trade, and as for these covers being done by these new artists, I think this is going to be cool as we go into different runs and different character introductions and big moments from the comics. I think it'll be definitely something cool to see in color and with these new prints and everything. So here are some of the covers that we've gotten revealed. I think this is just the A and B covers so far. They're set to be 3 other variant covers for the issue 1 release. So I'm very excited and curious to see what they will be. The first A cover just is a different version of issue 1. I do like the blue to it. It's definitely something cool. Again, nothing other than that really new, other than it being, a reprint or whatever of the main cover. We also got a colored version of issue 1 a few years back. I think it was for the 10-year anniversary of The Walking Dead. I don't have that issue, but I've heard that is something that came out I think 10 years ago, like I just said, for the 10-year anniversaries. And then we got the B cover here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this B cover is one of the covers that they did for the 15-year anniversary with the blind bags. I could be wrong, but I think that it looks similar to that. Maybe I'm just thinking that. But if you know, let me know in the comment section down below. But these covers are really cool. I really hope this does well and people actually buy it, because I feel it would stink if it doesn't sell well and they eventually cut it off halfway through the series run, and we don't get the full story in color or anything like that. I think that would suck. So I really, really hope that that's something that doesn't happen. Another thing I think that is interesting and could possibly happen with these with this new run for the comics is that the original series drops down in prices because maybe new readers or just fans in general will want to collect it in color rather than the black and white. I feel like, yes, Kirkman had his reasons for doing the series in black and white, but at the same time, I feel like people this day and age with comics prefer everything in color. I know myself, I prefer it, but I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys are different. I know myself, like I said, I prefer comics in color, but I feel like this could possibly put down the pricing of the original run, which for myself and other collectors might be a good thing because we won't have to, put out an arm and a leg just to buy certain issues. It could, again, drop down the prices, so we might be able to get comics from the original run a lot cheaper than we had originally, or that they originally are going for. I mean, that's a possibility. That's not 100% definite, but I could definitely see that happening due to everybody wanting this in color compared to black and white. Now, like I said earlier, so far it is said that trades, or the colored versions won't be coming out in trade anytime soon. I think that'll definitely be a switch in the future. I do believe down the road that they'll definitely, if this does do well, like I said, it'll be released in trade. I have zero idea why they wouldn't do that. I think that's stupid and idiotic at this point. I'm surprised they didn't do this already, or didn't release it in trade with these series. I think that, again, that's silly. But again, I'm very curious and excited to see what goes on here. Again, I just hope it actually holds up and that people buy it. And again, I'm going to go back and say, I feel like, I don't know, I'm mixed on this one. I'm excited for it to come out, but I feel like it's a little too early after the original run to have this come out. If I'm being honest, personally, I would have waited. I think they should have waited at least maybe 5 years until this was done, or until this original series ended. I feel like doing it right now is just somewhat of a cash grab and trying to make The Walking Dead relevant again. Not to be mean or anything or talk negative about the series, but I feel like the TV show kind of has plateaued in the past few years in regards to popularity and viewership. And with the comic over, I feel like, again, it's even more losing more relevance, so they're trying to revive it by doing these colored versions. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying that's just the way I look at it. I mean, maybe I'm just wrong, but I feel like it's something that is a little bit glaring and should be something that people keep in mind. But overall, I think this is cool and exciting, and I'm very excited to see if the story be brought to life in the comics in color. Now, last, I just wanted to go over some comic panels we got released for The Walking Dead issue number 1 so far. Now, I like these comic panels. They're very cool looking, and you get to see a glimpse of Rick Grimes in color, which is awesome. Now, these photos are taken, I think, within the first few panels, and it looks like they're the issues, or they're the panels early on when he's still in the hospital. Now, personally, I'm questioning this artwork. Look, I don't have an issue with it being in color so far. It looks fine. The only glaring issue I have is that it looks too bright to be in the hospital. I feel like when Rick woke up, at least in my mind, when he woke up, I feel like the light should be a little bit more dim, a little bit more darker. And to me, within these panels, it just looks a little bit too bright in the hospital. But maybe that's just me, because remember, it's been a couple weeks, if not a month or two, since the apocalypse has started. I'm assuming power went out in the hospital in that time. And the panels just look a tad bit too bright. Now, with these panels right here, where the walkers are on the left, it does look a little bit more darker. But the other ones just look a tad bit too bright for me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just nitpicking here. But let me know what you think. Do you think they're a little bit too bright, or do you think they're fine? But overall, I think it's cool. You got the hospital gown in that typical blue coloring shade, which is cool. You got some nice walker scenes here in color, which is giving a tease of what's to come. It's just a really cool cover so far, and I'm very excited to see the rest of the story be brought to life in color, and the other characters and their designs in color. This is gonna be very cool, especially for the characters, in my opinion, that are from the comics that were never brought to life in the TV show. I think that'll be even cooler to see them be brought to life in color. So I'm very interested and excited to see them be brought to color eventually later on in the series. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions regarding the Walking Dead comic series being reprinted in color. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way, some more Walking Dead news from me or comic news from me moving forward. And you can go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which I'll link in the about section on my YouTube channel. As always, it's my Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.